What's up, guys? Welcome. This is Kane, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of a quick rundown on the undead enemies in my upcoming game. We're just code naming it Aota right now. It actually stands for something, but I haven't bought the domain yet, so I decided I'm just gonna work with a code name, so no one runs off and steals my my domain. Well, I haven't bought it yet. I want to buy it on the 1st of January, so 2020, kind of whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so you here, you see some zombies. They're doing the zombie thing. Zombies and undead in general in my game are not going to be like the zombies you see in regular RPGs. In my game, zombies don't die in one hit. You killed them once before. They're back again as undead. They've been raised from the dead. They're actually very strong. Well, in the case of these zombies, they are not powerful in damage. All they have are little scratchy hands. They don't have any weapons. Zombies never have weapons. They scratch you and they bite you. So they'll do a tiny bit of melee damage, and then if they bite you, they have a possibility of diseasing you. So that's their forms of damage. Very small, trickling damage over time effects. So very little damage. So not a huge threat, but they do have a huge amount of HP. So they're very hard to kill. Think of it as the undead tank. Yeah, these are the frontline guys that are going to stand in front of the enemy and tank for the bad guys, right? They're undead tanks, and they have a huge amount of HP, but they are vulnerable to elements and magic. So if you have like fire damage, it's going to do a lot of damage to these zombies. If you have magic forms of damage, even priestly healer type damage types will do a lot of damage to zombies. They're not very vulnerable to melee weapons, but you can kill them with melee weapons eventually. But they're very tanky, so bear in mind. There are several variations of zombies. Here you can see 3 types. Overall, I think we have 8 different kinds of zombies. These are just some variations. Like this guy, he's kind of bloody. It's kind of bloody. Um, Walking with a limp and all that, but he can bite you and scratch you. We haven't decided what to do with the variations of zombies. I do know for a fact that all of them will do a bit of scratching damage and a bit of biting damage and the possibility of disease. But the differences between the variety of zombies is yet to be confirmed. It's a work in progress. We'll think about it as we go. This guy is one of the mummy looking types. You can see he's really kind of dried up, pasty. He's like a mummy. And then this guy, this is what happens when you leave something in the oven for too long. He is a charred, crispy zombie. You know how he died, right? Okay, so. And then we have the skeletons. Now, the skeletons are not quite as tanky as the zombies, so they do more damage, and they have a variety of damage sources. The first guy you see on the left, he is a bloody zombie. And then the second one you see in the middle, now this guy is more of an armored skeleton. This one, I don't mean zombie, I mean skeleton. Yeah, it's an armored skeleton. Picture him holding a sword and a shield, although didn't really quite put the weapon models on them yet. This is just a test scene anyway. So, and that last one, this guy is cool. This guy is your state-of-the-art flaming charred firebone skeleton. I don't know, I haven't decided on the name yet, but if you think of some cool ones, come down and let us know. Let me just post a link real quick for you guys. If you haven't come to my Discord yet, you really should. Thank you for that sub, Buddha. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. So here we are. So we're looking at couple of skeletons. We've talked about the zombies, tanky guys, really tanky meat shields for the undead forces. And then we have the skeletons here. Skeletons are a higher tier enemy than zombies. They do more damage. They do have less HP overall. But the firebone skeleton is probably going to be much more resistant to magic and all the typical undead counters. So it's going to be a lot harder to deal with. These guys are much stronger, much tankier. And picture this firebone wielding a giant two-handed claymore. You know, maybe even a flaming claymore. I haven't decided yet. But you know, the weaponization of skeletons is going to be cool because they can fight, they can wield regular weapons, they can, you can even spawn them with magic abilities. It's going to be pretty awesome to fight these guys. So these are the higher tier stuff. And just in case you don't know, undead in my game are much more powerful than undead in any other RPG. They don't die in a single hit. These are not the lowest end enemies you will face. In fact, you'll probably find like bandits and looters and low end fleshy things actually much lower level than undead. Undead are something you should fear. They died before, right? I mean, they've died once. What can you do to them, right? They've been raised from the dead with dark magic. So they are more powerful than your run-of-the-mill enemies. And it shows, right? We're gonna focus a lot on the undead here. I won't talk too much about the bosses because all of them are very cool and very unique. We have very specialized boss fights. Every boss has their own special combat mechanic, and each one is going to be designed differently, so it's going to be very cool. And if you're not aware of this, we are also implementing procedural dungeon generation, so there will be some static dungeons where they are generally designed for epic encounters, but they are also mostly like 90% of the content is procedurally generated. So you'll go to a dungeon and you'll just not know what to expect because you might have seen the rooms before, but the different enemies in the rooms, different things happen, different traps, different solutions, different puzzles, and of course different mini bosses and different bosses. It's going to be really cool. This game is actually going to be multiplayer as well. If you're not aware of it, it's going to be multiplayer. We're probably going to be able to run up to 500 per game instance, and co-op is confirmed. PvP is probable, and there'll be a survival game mode where you have to build up your base, you know, with all your friends and players, build up your base and try to defend against hordes of enemies of increasing difficulty. And it's gonna be cool. You'll be like trying to spare some time to go out and farm and clear dungeons for loot and bring the treasure back to your base to strengthen your base, and then all you guys will be working together to build a base, you know, build defenses, build towers, build castles to hold up against the hordes. Not just undead, by the way. There will be other interesting things coming to attack you in survival mode. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a little quick run through on what you will be expecting. Do drop by the Discord if you haven't already. Sign up, and maybe we'll see you in game soon. Laters, guys.